So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And today we are just got home from Origins 2019. We only went for one day, which was the Saturday, but it has been a very long day. I think we left my house at like 6 a.m. and it's now 11. Is it 10
10:30.
10:30. Gosh. So we went. And we just wanted to kind of just give you a debrief of the things that we did, some of the things we saw, people we met, just let you know kind of a little bit about Origins.
Yeah.
So it's held in Columbus, Ohio. So it's about a 3-hour drive for us. So we were able to get up and do it in a day. Not a big deal. But it's a game convention. There's role-playing games, board games, there's war games, which that's what we like. Mm-hmm. There's everything under the sun there, and it's a much smaller convention compared to Gen Con, for example. It's still a big convention. It's in the tens of thousands of people, rather than some of the smaller ones like a few thousand.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of stuff. There's a lot of games. The exhibit hall is big, and it's starting to spill into the other halls. Mm-hmm. I felt like there was more stuff being sold there.
It has definitely grown the last couple of years.
But that's nice. You know, you can find anything that you want to. Board games, new set of dice, latest RPG that's coming out.
A leather corset.
Yep. Or like,
if you want.
They've got like all the cosplay stuff. If that's what you're into.
Not our bag, but
if you're on this channel, you might. I don't know.
Who knows?
But it's really neat. It's a bigger con, so there's a lot of cool stuff to do.
A lot of the big publishers show up. I know that there were some that weren't there. Fantasy Flight Games wasn't there.
Yeah, and I don't know, were they there last year? I don't know if that's a new thing where they're not, weren't they? I don't know.
Lock and Load wasn't there this year.
Yeah, and we met them there last year. They weren't here. So it's changes every year. Some people show up, some people don't. What's the newest games they've got?
I like it a lot because I just feel like it's much more low-key.
Yes.
It's still busy, but I don't feel like you're getting thronged by people.
Yeah, compared to Gen Con, I actually don't think it's busy.
No.
We went on a Saturday.
It is busy, but it's not as busy as Gen Con. Gen Con on a Saturday is it's almost unbearable.
And frankly, during the week, it's become that way too. You just there's no space to move anywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas...
So, Origins is better that way. It's just more... I also like the area a little bit more because I feel like there's a ton more food opportunities, but...
Yeah, everything's right there.
Yeah.
It's centrally located.
And this year they had some construction that was finalized. So the atrium, they moved the registration to the area with the big head. It's like a digital... Well, it's actually a physical head, but it has like...
But they project pictures
it was interesting.
It's just an art installation. It's cool.
So I think that facility's pretty good. Plenty of bathrooms. They're generally clean, although that one that we visited before we left at 7:30 was pretty horrendous. It was bad.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm like, get me in here and get out. But, that's part of it.
End of the day, it happens.
Con cleanliness isn't always the greatest at those cons, but...
No, but what was cool is we've been doing these videos and this blog for a few years now, and it was nice to meet some fans of ours. It was really cool. Anyone who came up and said hi, we really appreciate that. It's cool just to like meet other wargamers and say hi, meet in person. A lot of these people we interact with through Twitter and YouTube comments,
Facebook,
things like that. So it's cool to meet everyone. Everyone's super nice. Everyone's super cool.
Well, and it was interesting because the very first gentleman that we met, Bill Simone, I think his name was, I'm trying to remember names, but he had our shirt on.
I know.
That was awesome.
That was surreal.
So we were walking, and I was having a little bit of a conniption fit because I was having trouble with my badge.
Yeah, getting in.
So I was reading my phone, and all of a sudden you say, Grant. And I'm like, what? Turn around, and there I see this guy, and he was tall. He was like 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, he was, I think he's
taller than that.
Yeah.
But he had our black...
He had this shirt on.
I'm like, that's awesome.
But that was cool.
And we talked to him, and then David Thompson walked by, which I felt bad. We ended up not connecting with David Thompson, who is, a great designer. If you've been watching our channel, you know that we've done a couple of preview videos for him for What Remains, from DVG, Divided. And then Europe Divided. And then I
did Pavlov's House?
Not Pavlov's House, but we did Castle Itter. That was the one we did. So anyway, that was really cool. And you use the word fans. I am a little averse to that word.
Sure.
Because I don't see it that way. And I know you don't either. No, that's just what you say.
I don't know what else to say.
But it was interesting because I had two of those individuals tell us today. Bill and then the guy from Michigan, which I'm drawing a...
Pete.
Was it Pete? They both kind of said the same thing, that they really enjoy the reviews that we do because they feel like they're literally across the table from us.
Which they are. That's just a clock in the background, and this is a kitchen table.
An annoying clock. But they made the comment that they felt like they're just across the table, sitting at the table just debriefing and talking about a game. And I'm like, that's awesome because I think that's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want it to seem like we're up here talking down or we're giving all this great in-depth analysis and commentary because in the end, I'm just a dude playing games and
everyone's got different taste. And is this a fun game to play?
Yeah. So that's what we do. I thought that was awesome, though. And we met, I think total 8 people we had counted.
Yeah,
there was 8.
And we tried to get pictures with everyone that we could. And
so we tried to tweet those out. That was kind of fun. Really enjoyed that. And we met Ardwolf.
Yes.
Gary, and I still don't know his last name.
Ardwolf.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Gary Ardwolf.
It's Gary Ardwolf. It's not, but that's what we'll call him. We followed him on Twitter for a couple of years. I've watched his videos off and on because he does these huge monster war games.
I know.
That we kind of dream of doing, but we just don't have the situation to do. Yeah. I don't have a huge table that can have 5 maps on it and leave it set up for... He mentioned some of the games they do at 3 and 4 and 5 months.
He's got 2 OCS games going on right now.
Yeah, and so he's a cool guy. We met with him. I think we talked to him at 2 different times, and then eventually in the evening, what about 5 o'clock?
Yeah, we played like a round of Cataclysm,
to
familiarize ourselves with that.
A round of Cataclysm with all 5 factions took
that was nuts.
2.5 hours.
Yeah,
I mean there was like 80,000 chits in that cup,
and we're thumbing the rules. As well.
I mean we were remembering things because it had been 6 months since we had played it.
Well, we did that.
That was a blast. I'm going to say that was fun. I enjoyed it.
It was great because it was also quite spontaneous.
It was.
It was at the Armchair Dragoons.
Yeah, which used to be Grogheads.
But yeah,
I think the last couple of years they've been on.
They have like a little area with 5 or 6 tables, and they have a bunch of war games going on.
Yeah.
And Cataclysm was there, and we'd come up just to kind of say hi, and because we had to meet some other people. And then it was just like, hey, we'll come back in a few hours. Let's play Cataclysm. Yeah. And so we just met back up and impromptu, played around with that.
And it was set up for us when we showed up. That was really nice because that would have taken 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But we ended up playing that. It was fun. We played 1 round. I was the Russians. You were the Germans and the Italians. Ardwolf was the British and Americans. And then was it Jim? I think it was Jim.
Yeah.
I tweeted it out. But he was the French. And we said he won because he survived an entire year.
He got through to the end of 1940 and hadn't surrendered.
So we thought, you know what? He won. But that was fun playing, and we had a slow start. I was a little worried about how the day was going.
I see, yeah.
You weren't because that's just the way I am. But
when we first got there, we didn't have like a bunch of appointments set up, which we did last year.
Normally we do. But we didn't.
So we got to just kind of walk around the exhibit hall and explore and see what was out there. And I enjoy that part of conventions a lot. I was like looking at the gaming paraphernalia, going over to Enterprise Games, seeing what old obscure games that they've got.
We bought a couple games
on our
what
list. Do you have there?
I wasn't going to interrupt you.
No.
So this is a game I've been wanting for a while, and I think GMT, it just literally sold out like 6 months ago. But it's Sword of Rome by Ray Farrell. Ray Farrell, if you don't know, designed Time of Crisis with Brad Johnson. Same guy. So it's a Roman game. It's a point-to-point movement up and down the Italian peninsula and Sardinia and Corsica and into the Alps. And it's a card-driven game about ancient Rome. So 4th century BC, just after the time of crisis.
Yes. And
so,
they had a good selection of games there.
Oh, there was 10 others I wanted
They have
to
like
buy.
all the new GMT titles.
Which
but they had a lot of the back catalogue of
Yeah.
And that's what I picked up was Onward Christian Soldiers.
Onward Christian... sorry.
Yeah.
Soldiers.
And this is designed by Richard Berg.
Not Borg.
No.
Berg.
Very different. Richard
Borg
Berg
does CNC.
Berg does everything
ancients.
else.
Yeah.
He's signed a lot of games.
Yeah.
And this is a game that I've had my eye on for a while. Looking at maybe see if I could pick up in a trade or not. And
Because we've always wanted to play this time frame.
yeah, it's
The Crusades.
It's a Crusades game.
Yeah.
It's something that interests me.
Yeah.
And we've flirted with different games here and there. And I was like, I'll
Kingdom
get
of
this.
Heaven from MMP that I own, and we still haven't played because we can't figure part of it out.
Yep. But this one, I'm like, I think it'll be good fun. We'll get this played. But this, they had it, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
The opportunistic.
And actually, I think the games were the same amount.
yes,
They were $69, which but it's kind of an out of print, out of circulation game.
Yes,
so
this is from 2006.
that's a long time. When was this? 2010 was the second printing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's 9 years ago.
But that's what I enjoy about conventions is
Yeah.
you can do a whole bunch of gaming, but man, you get to see the stores, who's got like games that you don't normally find
Yeah.
or can get a hold of. That stuff's really fun, and that's a big part of why I didn't care that
Yeah.
we had a slow morning with regards to what we do.
I had trouble with my badge, which bothered me because I know I registered it. I know I did. I've got proof. I've got an email, and it didn't show up, and that flustered me. But one other comment I would say about Enterprise Games is I think they donate games from GMT to the Armchair Dragoons that they then play.
Oh, really?
So the game that we played, the Cataclysm, was donated by Enterprise. Now, I don't know if GMT tells it. I don't know.
I don't know.
But that is how that works. And the other thing I want to say about Enterprise Games is I've been looking for a copy of 1989, Dawn of Freedom from GMT, for a couple of years. It's on my P500 list, but it's never going to get there. I think it's like at 250.
yeah.
But they had a copy. Ardwolf, I asked him, I was like, hey, do they have 1989? He was like, they just sold it. I'm like, oh, because I would have bought that one. Because that's a game I want. It's kind of a follow-up to Twilight Struggle in some ways.
Yeah, in some ways. It's kind
Card-driven
of
game. It's a little bit different, but it's the fall, 1989 when the wall fell and communism was over, right? Is that what we say? I don't really know. But
The dissolution of the Union was like in 92, I think.
yeah. But so that kind of
But
started
that
it
was
off.
that was a big
So anyway,
turning point.
that was my opportunity to get 1989,
And we missed it.
and I missed it. But I did get Sword of Rome. You got Onward Christian Soldiers.
Yes.
So
Those are the big
pretty stoked.
purchases of the day.
Yeah, that's actually all we bought. We bought some trays.
Yeah,
And we got some free dice. I stopped you from buying more dice.
I know.
I feel very, very good about that.
it's true.
You were going to drop about $25 on dice you didn't need. You have 50,000
I do.
dice.
I
So
do.
stop.
But they're so nice.
They are so nice. And those
Yeah.
were metal nice dice that weighed like 4 pounds. But
We were able to, the rest of the day we met with Uwe Eichert at Academy Games.
yep.
So there's an interview with his son Gunther. Mm-hmm. They have a new space race game coming out.
kind of Cold War.
Yeah.
It's a race to the moon.
Luna.
Yeah.
Luna landing. Yeah,
Yeah, one small step.
That game looks exciting.
Well, and it's a very, when he described it, I was like, huh? But it's a cooperative, competitive worker placement game.
Yeah.
If that even makes any sense.
And
It's team-based.
when you see the interview, he explains a little bit more. But yeah, like you have
It looks
a
awesome.
team trying to put out workers,
Yeah.
which is not ideal, against another team. You
Yeah.
know, so that game looks cool. And they had Storms of Steel 3rd edition
I took a
in
picture
the
of it
works.
because I didn't believe it.
No.
It's like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a picture of Bigfoot or a video, I have a picture.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to pay me for it, I've got a picture. I got a picture.
But yeah, that was cool. Always
Second edition. Good. Yeah, second edition never came out,
and presumably never will.
Well, never. Why would you? So they've really revamped it. I think they've added some new elements and
I've
really
heard it's
redone
backwards
it.
compatible though.
Okay.
So you can strip off and play it as a second edition if you need.
But we enjoy the Conflict of Heroes series. We started with Awakening the Bear. We own Guadalcanal.
Yeah, Guadalcanal.
And Storms of Steel is kind of that, because it's a bunch of tanks. It's like,
isn't it cursed?
It's
cursed, yeah.
So it's just the hugest, largest, biggest, most involved tank battle in the history of tanks.
Yeah, and that's going to be awesome.
But we saw those, and the one small step is July 16th.
Yeah, that's coming out
July
really
16th.
sharpish.
And they said they were going to send us a prototype copy so we could do a preview video.
Yes.
So
hopefully we'll get that done.
We may have to get like Tim or Matt to help us out, because I'm sure it'd be better having a 4-player.
You want to max that out on players probably for the best experience.
But they also talked about, and they didn't give us a name, or they did, and I don't remember it. Do you remember the name
Stellaris?
of the 4X? Stellaris something. But it's a 4X game that they're designing.
Yeah. So they got some stuff in the works there.
Yeah. And 4X, as you know, is explore, expand, exploit, exterminate. So it doesn't always have to be sci-fi, but a lot of times it's sci-fi, like Space Empires.
Yeah, because it's easy to have all that stuff in that setting.
But they said that was supposed to come out maybe later this year. Looks interesting. We didn't see a lot, but when he talked about it, he was pretty excited
there's more
about
on
it.
that forthcoming towards the end of this year.
Yeah. We also, it was interesting, at the Academy Games table, they had an expansion for the 1754, the French and Indian War. Remember what that was called?
I don't know what it was called, but it was a deck of cards that controlled the little green
Native Americans.
Normally independent Native Americans.
Where you're rolling a die, and I think it's like a dial, if I remember correctly, that they say where they're going to go.
Well, normally you pick them up as you move through, and there is a little die roll that they can do some other stuff.
They move around.
But
this is like a deck
full
of cards.
deck of cards that give them actions to do stuff, which looks...
I should have bought a copy of that, but I didn't. We were busy.
Yeah, that was rushed. Because we went, from there we met with Flying Pig Games.
Which was a great hour.
Yes.
We really had a good time there.
We played their La Resistance game.
La Resistance.
Which is a little... I mean, it's
a card game with dice kind of placement, and
it's almost like a Yahtzee style. Yeah. You're trying to roll dice to get some numbers to fulfill some cards
to get victory points. And
it's a really simple, quick card game. Plays 3 to 5 people,
based on the French resistance in World War II. That's kind of the theme,
and it's a theming on a game.
Yeah, right? But that was really fun. We played that with Herman Lutman,
Mark.
Yep.
You and me.
It was fun. Herman ended up winning. He actually won twice, but we were incensed and wouldn't allow him to win the first time because it was after the turn was already over.
And then,
he won again then.
And we did an interview with Mark about that, so we'll get you more details about that game in
that is
video.
Supposed to come to Kickstarter. I think he said late August.
Yeah, and there's some timing with the other games, so
but that game,
coming out in August.
I think he said it was going to be $35.
Yeah.
So you get like a deck of cards, you get some counters, and like 10 dice. 6 and 4.
10 dice, yeah.
So, I think it's a fun, kind of light, family-style, historical-themed game.
Yeah.
It could be
very
themed
simple,
anything,
very quick game.
It was fun. I had a really good time with that.
Yeah.
Beer and pretzel is kind of the phrase that I know Mark used, and
yes.
So it's that kind of game, but definitely look for that. I think that will be a good one. And then you talked to Herman.
Yes. So his brand new game, which is called The Devils to Play.
To pay.
And it's
the first day of
Gettysburg. And this is the one that's from Tiny Battle Publishing. Mm-hmm. And it's their first ever boxed game.
And it is a cute
little box.
And it looks great. It really does look good.
It's a small footprint Gettysburg game.
Yeah.
Single sheet of counters.
What was there, like 50 counters total?
It's one sheet. So I think he said it was 167 counters.
Were they smaller? They looked okay. Maybe there were that many.
I may be misremembering that, but I think that's the number that he said. But yeah, there's an interview for that as well that's coming up. That game looks neat. But it's always fun to hang out with them. Mark showed me their first ever production copy of Crowbar,
which looks awesome.
Yeah, the final production is really good.
Yeah.
He had the expansion for that as well, which is called Vorwärts, I think.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He had that as well. And then...
Just adds...
Yeah, he showed me some other stuff as well. Oh, the OST Volume 1. Do you remember the Kickstarter had the Stalingrad map in it?
Yeah.
So they're printing that separately because they ran out of them.
Got it.
So that's a separate expansion.
And that's one we don't have. We don't have the Stalingrad expansion.
I think you do.
I don't know that we've ever played it.
We haven't, but it's in your base game. I'm pretty sure you have it. Because it was included in the original base game.
You just had 2 ding-dongs on the clock. Jeez.
But yeah, it's always fun just going through the stuff that they have going on.
Yeah.
Because there's always something different that they have, which is cool.
And while we were sitting there, Jeff from the gaming gang stopped by.
Yes.
Talked to him for 5 or 10 minutes. Good. That was a good time. And then we hurriedly went over to Armchair Dragoons, where we ended the night by
played some Cataclysm.
Yeah. And then we drove home in a torrential downpour.
Yeah, that was a mess.
I was driving, and it was people in front of me were trying to stop, and I'm like, you don't stop on the interstate. You just look at the lines on your left or your right, and you stay on them. And that was a little scary, but we made it home.
Yep.
Just made it home about 30 minutes later than we had expected. But definitely love Origins. Definitely always have a good time. I want to say I've been 5 years in a row now.
Yeah, that was only the second time I've been.
Maybe it was 4 years in a row I've been, but I always enjoy it. I've never had a bad time there.
I like that, because I love Gen Con, but it is super, super busy.
Yeah.
Whereas Origins is just not, there's space to move around.
I mean, it's busy, but it's not, you're not thronged.
Yeah. And we walked past, there was a group of guys playing Battle Group, which is a miniatures tabletop war game set. It's 15 millimeter, and they were playing Tarawa.
Yes.
And it was unbelievably good looking. And there's
really
going to be pictures. It's just...
Well, and there were about 30 LVTs.
Yeah.
Running up.
Just driving
on
up
the beach. Half of them had been shelled.
And then the other half are bailing their troops out who are wading up through the
50 feet off the shore. That game looked awesome.
And they had just really nice palm trees. All the Japanese are dug into emplacements with guns.
I've seen a lot of great detail in some of those miniature games. You did a great job on making yours for Flames of War. Yeah. That stuff was amazing. Yeah, that was really good.
But just there's these huge games like that, and there was a ton of other miniature stuff going on.
Yeah, there was.
Death Race. That looked cool too.
That looked fun.
But there's space for me to just walk by, stop, and admire.
I think every year we talk about that, and I think every year we don't get any kind of event for something like that, because it would be fun.
Well, that's why I signed us up for Stalingrad.
You're right. So we got Flames of War, Stalingrad coming up at Gen Con.
That's, gives us a tactile board to play on. Yeah. That isn't just
And we know that system. We just need to... Maybe we need to get your stuff out and play.
Yeah, with the updated
just as a refresher. But yeah, so another Gen Con 2019 in the books, and
that was Origins.
Oh, Gen Con, jeez, I'm already.
It's very late.
It is late. Origins 2019 in the books. So yeah, I had a great time. Yep. I enjoy it every year, and I think every year we talk about let's go one more day next year, and it just never happens.
Nope.
We just don't have the money to do a hotel. We don't,
and it's a time thing, a lot of it.
Yeah, but it would be fun to do another day or two there.
Yeah, because it's very relaxed, and there's some groups of pretty hardcore war gamers there, so you can get into some good games. People were playing CNC Medieval.
Yeah, we saw that. What else did we see played?
They were playing, what was the other one? I forget. But there was a bunch of games that were being played.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that.
Yeah.
And that's partly why we're doing our Insurgency in Indianapolis.
Yes.
The Thursday of Gen Con.
So we can play
we can play some war games
big war
at that
games.
convention, because there's really not a lot.
Yeah, we're going to play Cataclysm again with a group of 4, I think.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And then we also we're playing Genesis.
But yeah, there's a group
from
of
GMT.
25, 30 of us are going to be there.
Yeah.
Including Harold Buchanan and a few others that have helped us organize that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be T-shirts.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
A ton of war games. So
it's going to be
if you're
war
going
games
to
at
Gen Con or you haven't bought your badge yet, definitely be there on Thursday, because we'll be there playing games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Origins 2019, super duper fun. We did it all in a day.
Yes.
It's a very long day.
I'm ready to
Origins
go home and go to bed.
Great fun. So
yeah.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. Just wanted to give you kind of a wrap up of what we experienced there. It's different from what everyone else experiences,
right?
But it's, you know, it's just fun to kind of talk about what we saw and what you might see if you attend in the future.
And you'll see 4 videos from us from that, right?
It's
3 interviews plus this kind of wrap up video.
Yeah, so there's a few interviews that are going to come in the next week and a half. So you can expect those. And yeah, there'll be posts on theplayersaid.com where we talk, just showing some pictures and bits and pieces of some of the things that we saw. So appreciate you guys tuning in. And I've been Alexander.
And I'm Grant.